we've decided that we're going to start a hat club. So if you want to join our hat club, please send us pictures with you wearing your most outrageous hat. Oh my god, we keep getting messages from people telling us to do videos in Somali, but the thing is, my Somali is not that.
Should we try it? Okay. Maanta waxaan kuu soo saarnay arrin adag
oo kulul.
How do I say am I the arsehole? Ma qof daba xun intaan inaabtiday. No, I can't do it, sorry. I'm so
No, I'll say it. Am I the arsehole? Can I just say because? Am I the arsehole? Waxaan sameeyay inabtiday baan, how do you say uninvite? Inabtiday baan diiday inay timaado arooskayga.
No, I'll do it.
It's hard.
Am I the arsehole? Inabtiday aan ku idhaaha arooskayga ma iman karo. Ay ahayd siyaasadda ay hooyaday. You know what we sound like? That guy. You remember that guy that came on Universal TV and he was like he couldn't pronounce, what was it, Yugoslavia, and he was like you got Guys, I promise we can speak Somali.
We can, but we can't speak technical Somali. We can only speak conversational Somali. So if it's like a technical topic, if it's politics, no.
Cut me out.
If it's Reddit scenarios,
cut me out.
Hi guys, welcome to another video. My name is Kaltor.
And I am Hodo.
And today we have
another scenario. Why do we always pause? We're so weird.
We always say the same thing. It's so funny.
It's our intro though. Like that's our vibe.
Today we have another scenario.
So right, we're gonna try and do a Somali video one day, but today it's very hard for us. So please,
please. Just give me 2 months and Hargeysa Suchuga. I will be 10 out of 10.
So let's start the scenario, guys. We really love you guys being on our channel, so please don't forget to subscribe down below and go visit our TikTok and Instagram page. It's going to be all underneath in the comment section. So let's begin. Right, so am I the arsehole for uninviting my cousins from my wedding for feeding info to my mum? Oh, where's your mum at my wedding? She goes, I'm 28, male. I'm an only child.
Sorry.
Kaltorn discriminates against me because I'm an only child.
I don't discriminate.
It's actually...
We are your siblings.
It's actually trauma to me that she discriminates against me that I'm an only child. So it's Kasar. So I'm 28 and only child. When I was 12, my parents divorced when my dad found out my mum cheated on him. This was devastating to my dad. My parents were best friends and started dating when they were 17. I played sports and my dad was my coach, so I had a much closer relationship to him than my mum. I was supposed to spend 1 week at my mum's, then the next week at my dad's, but I would usually just lock myself in my room at my mum's. Usually my dad would drop me off and I would get on my bike and ride the couple miles back to his house. My mum would ask me things and I would literally pretend like she didn't exist. It got so bad that the lawyers got involved, thinking my dad was turning me against my mum. My dad encouraged me to spend time with my mum, but I couldn't. My mum tried putting us in therapy, but I would just sit there till the time was up, not saying a word to her. Eventually my mum broke down and let me just live with my dad. I haven't spoken a word to my mum in 15 years. She would show up to my games alone, and sometimes I would ask my dad to tell her to leave. Sometimes I didn't notice she was there. She would try talking to me after and I would walk right past her. Allah.
This is really bad.
The sky.
Is it a man?
Yeah. I cut her whole family off besides a few of my cousins that are around my age. She showed up to my high school graduation and I asked a couple teachers to remove her and they did. It's a bit extreme. She never dated anyone else to my knowledge and was still attempting to reconcile with my dad a few years before he passed, calling it the biggest mistake of her life and begging my dad to forgive her. When my dad passed a couple of years ago, she tried to show up to the funeral and I met her outside to ask her to leave.
That's...
My fiance Rachel was with me when I did this, and my mum cried upon learning we were engaged. Rachel introduced herself as my fiance, saying she couldn't believe I hated her still this many years later. So last week I received a letter from my mum with a large check inside. In the letter she said she couldn't live knowing she wouldn't be invited to her only child's wedding, that her whole family's hurt that I cut them off, and that she'd been keeping tabs on me all the years through my cousins. Updates out of respect for me, but couldn't handle not being at the wedding. I ripped the check up and sent it back to the return address. She shouldn't have known my address as I keep her blocked on all social media. I called up my cousins who admitted that since I was 14, they've been providing my mum with updates on me. Prom pictures, college updates, engagement photos, and they sent her my address. I was so mad that I told them that they wouldn't be invited to my wedding anymore, because I don't want my mum getting access to it. Rachel's saying I'm going too far now and inviting my cousins, along with freezing out my mum's whole family because of her actions back in the day. Am I the arsehole?
This is too much. This is a lot. This is a lot to dissect. So the resentment is coming from the fact that the mum had cheated on the father, and she's doing all of this because of that. His
mum cheated on the dad,
and then this is just
17 years ago, I'm assuming.
And then
now.
It's just kind of like,
and then from that moment,
this series of events where he's just been blocking the mum at every turn. I just think it's too much, honestly. What, like, this is your mother. She made a mistake, fine, but to go to these like lengths to just isolate her from the family, it's not nice.
It's not nice, but I also think it's her and your father's relationship. It's got nothing. I mean, it has something to do with you, because obviously you're their child. You're living in the house.
It affects them. I feel like there's their second-hand effect. But I feel like it's between the husband and the wife to have sorted it out and to agree on like how they're going to co-parent and stuff. But to take sides as the child, like, it's just, I don't know, man. I just think it's really petty.
I don't know. I mean, I get where he's coming from, but I just think 15 years later to be doing the same spiteful things, even though she's tried to reconcile with your father, who appears that he's like forgiven her.
Yeah.
When he died.
Yeah, we don't know, but we assume, let's say, he's forgiven her. But it's like, she's human. She's made a mistake. She's spent the last couple of years trying to reconcile. And it's just, do you know what I mean? I don't think it's fair that they're treating their mother like that.
Treating my mum like that, yeah. I do think you're a bit of an arsehole. Yeah. I think you need to have some therapy, definitely, for the trauma that you went through. An edit.
Yeah.
He goes, the cheating was with my teammate's father, and this was highly embarrassing for me and caused me to have to move homes and caused me to lose friends.
Okay.
I still don't think it justifies you treating her like this 15 years later.
So,
I mean, each to their own.
I think from their point of view, they're saying
that's a lot of trauma, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's embarrassment, and I had to uproot my entire life because of you, because you made this mistake. I mean, I can see why it's not fair on the child at the time to have to do all of that.
Agree.
But, you know, like, to continue to punish her years later up until, you know, you're a grown person that's about to get married.
It's also a red flag for me. Like, I just think if you can't get, like, it's not, I don't want you to get over it, because that's up to you. But if you can't find a way to move past something, or to, like, deal with it, or to even reconcile with someone, or to forgive, or to find some sort of, like,
you're not going to be at peace with yourself.
You're constantly going to be eating away at yourself all the time. And if you're holding on to that hatred for this long, like, what if I was his fiance? I'd be thinking, if I do something to you one time, like, is this how you're going to react?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. People need to forgive more, because life is so short. Like, imagine this mum was killed in a freak accident and they still had this like massive wound of like hatred and resentment still open after all these years, because you can't be the bigger person and just forgive her. No, like, I don't want akhirah.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want to go to akhirah with that on my on my
It's
shoulders.
walid in card. That's what my mum says. Walid in card. It's just like you have to have, and you need to have some like, you need to put yourself in people's positions. Like, fine, you might have not done what she's done, but you make mistakes in life as well, and like you would like someone to give you the benefit of the doubt to change and to forgive. And I feel like you can't spend your whole life. It's the same as that bully story.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's similar. You can't hold on to something like this because it's just gonna.
It's gonna eat you alive. Clearly you're not like,
it's not even that, it also like, it just changes you. It causes you to be like it's quite dark in a sense to hold on to something like that for a long time. And you know, like, honestly, my whole thing is I just want to like be as happy as possible in the short time that I'm in this earth. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, if your mum is someone that is like a huge kind of part of your life in a sense. I mean, probably not for the latter part, but for his formative years, she was a huge part of his life. So like, wow, so I've done a cool summer. So can you at least just allow her for this little mistake? All that
not
stuff.
a little mistake.
Okay, it's not a little mistake,
but like,
cheated on dad, but come on, like,
it's 15 years. It's not a good example. We don't want you to do that. But like, just doing petty things like ripping up a check.
It's like, you don't have to bring her back into your life straight away, but just forgive her at the very base level.
And also, he did this one thing where he kicked her out of the father's funeral. That's not for you to do.
She's come to make peace with a dead person.
And it's also like, she shared so she was with this man, so I'm getting triggered. She was with this man from 17 onwards. She shared a life way before you. Like, how have you got the audacity to kick your mum out of your father's funeral? That's not for you to make that choice.
She loved him. She had a relationship with him. They were married. Like, oh, honestly, this person, they need to get...
You need to heal. But just small things like ripping up a check, kicking her out, not inviting her to things. And he's also cut out his entire mum's side of the family. The mum's side of the family is the littest part.
It's the best side! It's the best side!
I have never.
What?
I'm your dad's side of the family. All our cousins watching, we love you.
We love you guys.
Right, so what I was saying is, yeah, like, I just think you need to heal, you need to move on, do some therapy. You also need to stop being petty, doing this like,
stop being a bitch to your mum.
Spectacle of like kicking her out, doing all this. Even when it says...
No, hold on, can I just say, think about when you were contracting your child, yeah? When you go through the contractions.
And he did this to you.
And he did this to you. You were going through those fucking...
I know how you're so nice.
And he did this to you, what would you like? Think about the pain, the sleepless nights.
It's not forgivable.
Yeah.
That's why. Remember that song when we were young? Who let your mother?
Who next to your mother?
Who next to your mother? And then your father. Why is it women get 3 times and men get once? Because we go through trauma. Look at these bags.
To bring you up.
That have been concealed.
A whole human adult.
Do you know what I mean? Look at the virtues a mother does for you. What, she's awake when you're sick. She's
your
awake
cook.
All the time.
She's your cleaner.
She's your teacher.
She's your... Oh, just can't.
Everything. Without pay.
If my mum did the worst thing in the world to me, I would still forgive her. Just for the sheer fact.
You just move on.
Yeah, just for the sheer fact that, like, I'm sorry. I don't know, I feel like from an Islamic perspective it's different for us because our mums are like...
But sometimes there's toxic parents, and I won't lie, within our cultures there's a lot of toxic parents, and sometimes you need to check, like, you don't need to be rude to your mum.
But you can check them and
you can check them like, I don't like this, do you know what I mean? Hoy, can we have a conversation about, if your mum's that liberal, then she'll have that conversation with you.
If she's not that liberal, I just think, like, I feel like maybe we're so numb to it because...
We're naive.
Yeah, we're not even naive, but I just feel like our mums are the way they are. There's factors in place that have made them the way they are. Obviously, they've been through a lot. So, just, it's infinite forgiveness from me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like everything my mum has done for
I would hold something against my mum. Like, no way.
No word of a lie.
Anything, it could be anything.
And I also just think, as a person, like, do you want to just spend your life just hating every single person that does something to you? Like, I understand you have reactions, you have traumas, you have things that you won't forget, like, you can forgive and forget, but why are you holding on to hate? Just let it go. Be at peace with yourself.
And I think
your
it's like,
father's
if you
passed
really
away
cared,
now, like,
it's like,
yeah.
also, if you like really kind of like, some people don't even care to want to make amends, but I feel like if there is something, most people, like, I just find it crazy how people that have been adopted will go and find their mums, do you know what I mean, to try and create a relationship, but you can't.
There's a bond.
Like, you can't. There's no way that you can just completely axe your mum out your life. I don't think it's physically possible. That person is going to grow old and regret this.
I just think he's doing a lot of like very petty, very childish, very like, how do I, like, very performative stuff.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's actually doing the most. Like, if you, it's the same as if you don't want to speak to someone or you've broken up that relationship, cool, but like, at least you don't need to do this spectacle of, I'm gonna kick her out the funeral, she's not coming to the wedding, I'm gonna rip up this, I'm gonna go get my school teachers to come and take her out of the,
yeah,
like, that's a spectacle.
And I feel like in life it's really important that if someone wants to reach out to make amends with you, if someone has taken a step forward, you should at least meet them halfway. Because, like,
have a conversation.
Yeah, it doesn't have to
understand where they're coming from.
It doesn't.
You don't need to forgive them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, yeah, you can forgive them, but I think forgiveness is the most important part, because
no,
that's
I'm
what,
saying it's their choice to forgive them. You don't need to
absolutely
impose forgiveness.
no, not okay. Maybe
give them a chance.
But if they want to forgive their mother, cool, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I just feel like if someone is trying to, like, if someone's knocking, you should at least, like, answer and just see what they've got to say and listen to them. Go home, think about it, and then make a decision as to what you want to do. But to just completely say, you know what, no, I'm not having this, kick her out of the funeral, do all of this weird stuff, like,
it's too much.
Like, move out of the house to go live with your dad, like, it's just, I can't even imagine how that mum's feeling. Like,
I know,
so sad.
I think people really try to have, like, good relationships with children. Like, I'm just thinking about me, like, me and my son, like, he's at that talking stage, we have conversations, that quality bonding time that we have, and imagine, like, 15 years later, he's not even speaking to me. Like, that would really hurt me.
Yeah.
That would be so horrible.
It's like, I used to do the morning school run for you. Like, I used to wake up in the middle of the night and change your pooey nappy.
No. So yeah, what's our advice? How are we ending?
That person's
learn
an
to forgive. You are an arsehole, but you need to learn to forgive and learn to manage your feelings in an appropriate way. You don't need to be petty about it. If your mum's hurt you, I understand that. I feel like you have gone through a lot. I don't know if it's justified to do this. And that girl that's marrying him, I mean,
good luck to her. Good luck to her.
I mean,
because, honey, he's going to do the same thing to you. He's going to get a little grudge and he won't let it go. So, I don't know. And imagine, you know what I'm thinking? It's, why isn't the girl asked him about his relationship with his mother? Or maybe she's just like...
She probably has. She understands it. I mean, I don't know. Like, how would you feel if you were in this situation? Like, if you're...
Like, I'd feel a little bit uncomfortable if somebody that I was talking to didn't have a good relationship with their mum. I'd see that as, like, potentially a red flag.
But it's not like, but how would you feel if, like, with the stuff that the mum's done with the teammate's dad, that's a bit...
No, I don't think it's that.
It's a bit much.
I don't think, it's a lot, but, I mean, it's not for,
I would be embarrassed.
It's a lot for a child.
I would move on.
Yeah, it's a lot for a child in their formative years to have to deal with that stuff, and I can see why they've held on to the grudge. What I don't understand is how they're an adult about to get married and they're still holding onto the same grudge. And
have you not made new friends since you've moved towns? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know, I just feel like, I don't know, I do think he's an arsehole.
No, it's a proper arsehole.
I just think you don't treat your parents like that. I'm so sorry.
Right, really hot. This hat's making me hot.
Mine too. My hair's tickling me. I don't think we're happy.
I feel like I'm on the menopause.
I think I like your hat more than mine.
Do you think? Do you think someone washes you out a bit?
Yeah. Can I stop with you for a second? I just don't have the head shape for a hat. I'm so sorry. Do you know what I mean? My head's
Push
very...
it down a little bit. Go on.
My head's very
Oh, that's a lot better, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. I think you've got a very oval shape, so it works for you. Anyway, guys, this is the end of our video. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Let us know what you think in the comments down below.
Would you forgive your mum?
Are they the arsehole? Are they not?
Let us know.
Thank you. Bye.